Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, fabulous Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Quiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend ahead, including, of course, the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be a Friday without it. So, here's how the quiz works. 5 questions for the kids about the week in news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Easy. You ready? Let's do this. All right, kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. We heard in the podcast this week how new rules were being introduced to which popular online kids game. The rules will now allow parents to monitor what their kids are doing and who they are playing with whilst on this particular platform. Yes, it is, of course, Roblox, and I'm sure you're all really excited about that development. Question number 2. We also heard in the podcast this week how warnings have been issued about the health of one of Australia's most amazing natural wonders of the world. It stretches for thousands of kilometres in the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland. Which natural wonder am I talking about? That's right, I'm talking about the Great Barrier Reef. Question number 3. The AFLW semi-finals take place this weekend, with 2 teams competing from which Australian capital city? And I'll give you a hint, it's not Melbourne. Yeah, that's right, it's Adelaide. The Crows and Port Adelaide are both playing in the semi-finals. Well done, Adelaide. Question number 4. We heard in the podcast this week how a couple of crazy stuntmen did a slack rope walk thousands of metres above Earth, with the rope strung between 2 what? And I'll give you a hint. They float gracefully up into the air when filled with hot air, and they have big baskets attached to them for passengers. Yeah, of course, they're hot air balloons. What else? Question number 5. Which big animated film sequel, starring the shape-shifting demigod Maui, voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and set in Polynesia, hits cinemas next week? Did you say Moana 2? You would be correct. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? And do you think that's going to be enough to beat the adults? I'm hoping so. All right, adults, now it's your turn. Let's fire up the old grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. Lovers of Aussie rugby had a good start to the week when the Wallabies trounced which nation whilst on tour in Great Britain? Yep, earlier this week they beat Wales. And of course they've got Scotland to beat this coming Sunday. Question number 2. Still on sport, and which Spanish tennis champion decided to hang up his racket this week and call time on his stellar tennis career? Yes, that's right, of course, it was Rafael Nadal. Question number 3. It's been a big week of travel for Aussie Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who attended the APEC summit this week in which South American country? Congrats to you if you said Peru. Ooh, I'm a poet and I don't even know it. Question number 4. It tells the untold story of the Witches of Oz, has been one of the most successful pieces of musical theatre ever staged, and yesterday it hit cinemas in a blaze of marketing and publicity. Which movie am I talking about? Well done if you said Wicked. And question number 5. Name the well-known American pop star who stars in the movie adaptation of Wicked. Yep, that's right, it's Ariana Grande. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who has won bragging rights this week? Now, if you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. That's the end of the quiz, which means it's now time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, November 22. On this day, 29 years ago, the first Toy Story movie was released. The first movie created entirely using computer-generated imagery. And yes, mums and dads and teachers, it was 29 years ago. Now I suddenly feel very old. Today is also a special day for these Squiz Kids, celebrating a birthday today and over the coming weekend. And because it's a Friday, and because it's tradition here at Squiz Kids, let's crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it. And it's a happy birthday to Stephanie from Warrnambool, Sage from Sunshine Coast, Jasmine from Bayside, Archie from Eglinton, Ava from Bathurst, Ruby from Ivanhoe, Eamon from Bradbury, Ailey from Thaguna, Josh from Yass, Sathvik from Oran Park, Lauralee from Lura, Ruby from Warrawee, Lottie from Bangalow, Mila from Belbray, Emma from Parkdale, and Luca from New South Wales. Plus, a special shout out to Cora from Parkwood, who also happens to be celebrating her birthday today with her dad and her pop. A triple family birthday. Happy birthday to you all. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget, there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Friday morning. And the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as our other excellent content is free too. We're talking a Squiz Kids Today news podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, a Squiz Kids Shortcut or a Squiz the World every Tuesday, and for all the teachers out there, there's the Classroom Companion, our teacher-produced classroom activity sheets, curriculum aligned and tied to the Daily Pod on Mondays, and whose entire back catalogue is now searchable via our website. Genius. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all this audio content will magically appear. For now, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.